Right here. Okay, so this is a real thing, right? We're not playing games. This isn't some prank. Okay. I'm Lawrence Nault. I'm a writer and I'm an author. Some may know me by the name the Mountain Hermit, which I've used for I think almost 30 years in writing my children's books and when I was a storyteller. I still don't understand why you want to do this with me. I do have a story. I mean, everybody has a story. And there's a story about everyone. I'm not sure. I guess I have a challenge being the subject of the story. Where did I grow up? I grew up in North Bay, Ontario. Which was a beautiful place when I was there. I loved it. I mean, I lived the typical life of a child back then. You know, I rode my bike everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean, I think we did more miles than the Tour de France did every day when we were running around town on our bikes. And yeah, we were, you know, out the door in the morning and coming home when the street lights came on. I had some real good friends back then. I met some really good people at a church I went to. I made some of the best friends I will ever have at that church. And that's not because of the church. I mean, it's because of the church that we met, but that's not why they were good people.
And he's running from the shadows, hiding from the pain, trying to break the cycle, but the scars remain. Every step he takes, every path he fights, he's haunted
yeah,
by
that
the
song
echoes,
is from
he's searching for redemption,
that
trying to be strong, but the past keeps calling and the nights alone. He's building up a future, but the memories last, living with the echoes of the past.
It was a traumatic event. It was an event that definitely impacted my entire life going forward. My father had a problem with alcohol. And there was one particularly violent event that I bore witness to as I think I was 8 years old. I remember, we were taken across the road to a friend's house. From there we were taken somewhere else. I woke up in a strange bed in what I believe was a shelter the next morning and stayed there for a little while with my brother and sisters and mother. And I think we returned home not before Christmas, it was directly after Christmas. I mean, my story is no different from that of many others. That brought new challenges into my life, to my entire family's life. So, my first books to be published were some children's books, squirrel tales, wolf tales, and bear tales. The story for Squirrel Tales started around a campfire at a campground outside of Jasper. It used to be called Pocahontas. Thankfully now they've changed its name to Miette. It was after Labor Day weekend, so there was hardly anybody there. Across the campground, I distinctly remember somebody playing their accordion. That was the only sound going through the night air. That's where those stories started. Those were my first books to be published, followed shortly by Jubilee. They've all been republished. Jubilee is now called Leviticus 25 Jubilee. And the children's books are available as ebooks because I'm troubled by printing off books that are just going to end up in the garbage and in the waste stream at some point. So it makes them affordable as ebooks and makes them available to everybody. Right? All right, do we see if this worked? Who's over there? Who's over there? Who's over there? Who's over there? Where? I had a brother, younger brother, two younger sisters, a half, and my mother went through a lot of challenges after that. Being the oldest, I ended up taking on a lot of responsibility I wasn't prepared for. That's when I started writing. That's when I started using writing to express my thoughts, my feelings. It's when I started focusing on my music. Yeah, I loved music. I loved the little band that we had. I loved the interaction with people, my friends. I should have kept it up. I started hearing this sound in my ears. It was maybe a little before that. It's hard to really place an exact timeline on it. But a ringing. Fairly constant. And it would get progressively louder at times a little quieter, but it was persistent. It was always there. I would ask people about it. Do you hear that sound? Or, why is this going on and stuff? And I would hear things. Oh, you're just hearing things. You're just making it up. We don't hear anything. For a while, in my youthful mind, I thought maybe it was communications from somewhere else. Nobody heard it but me. I was the only one hearing it. I grew beyond that thought. Although I still, from time to time, think, what if? But, yeah, that sound got louder and louder. And that interfered with my music. Moving away from my close friends impacted my music. At some point, taking off the end of my finger. I mean, it definitely did impact me playing guitar. Maybe none of them were any real reason to stop music. But I did. And the fact of the matter is I get very little pleasure out of music now because all I hear is the ringing in my ears over top of it. Okay, when you edit this video, I want you to during a segment I want you to play, and I'll help you find the tones. But during a segment, I want you to play somebody talking, narrating, maybe me talking, and over top of that, I want you to layer these super high frequencies that are just within hearing range, and do a couple of minutes of the show like that. Let people hear what I hear 24/7. What I hear, I don't know if it wakes me up or I wake up to it anymore. And then I want people to imagine that sound so loud that you can't hear voices over it. If you're watching a movie or television, you have to turn it up so loud that nobody else in the room can stand to be around you. My home now is in a spot that I swore I would never come back to. We moved from North Bay to just outside of Drumheller, Alberta. And of course, leaving all my friends and everything, I wasn't happy to start with. It was a bunch of mud hills with nothing to do, and I always had trouble integrating and making friends to start with, so I was never happy here. I ended up going back to Ontario on my own. When I was 15 or 16, I think, maybe younger, I don't know. Those timelines are a little messed up for me. I love it. It's quiet, other than the odd traffic. It's away from people. Isolated, really. My home, it's nothing fancy. I mean, it was actually originally a couple of coal miner cabins put together, and somebody built onto that. And when I got it, it probably should have been torn down, but bit by bit I've redone it from the inside out, and I did it using a lot of recycled materials. That was important to me. It's not a way for everybody, but it kept it affordable. I wouldn't have a house otherwise. But this is my hermit's cave away from everybody. I sit out here sometimes for hours writing, where I sit at my desk and write. It's just a relaxing place. It's kind of amazing to think where this house is now from where it started. The bricks in that kitchen island are from a schoolhouse that predates the house that has been torn down. The countertop is old wine box tops. The floor was hand finished with a real coffee stain, and I mean a stain made with coffee. It's come a long way from where it started. It's easy to look at problems on the surface, but when you look beyond them and see what's inside and what the potential is, you see a whole lot more.
Cobwebs in the corners weave a tapestry of time. Echoes of laughter linger still. In this old house they chime. Every beam and every stone whisper secrets of the past. Resilient roots that won't let go, a strength that's built to last. Don't judge a heart by the cracks in its face.
Those pictures are from several years back. Lawrence didn't let us into his house to film. His desire for privacy has made some aspects of this shoot very difficult. These are just some of the many pieces that Lawrence has created in his workshop. Working in wood, metal, and other materials, he's created some incredibly beautiful objects over the years. Sadly, he doesn't spend much time in his workshop anymore.
Don't judge a heart by the cracks in its face. In every line, there's a tale to trace. What seems forgotten just needs a chance to dance again in a second glance. Worn out, weathered but not broken. Every flaw in a silent token of a life that's still in motion.
There's a couple of major events in my life that happened in my childhood that definitely affect my writing. Aside from what happened at home, there was a summer trip I went on. Where I live, North Bay, I mean, you could almost walk out the back door, put a canoe on a lake, and go for days with a few portages. But my best friend and his father took me. My best friend, his father, and his grandfather took me on a canoeing trip to Algonquin Park. But it was an incredible week. The peace, the isolation, the quietness. Yeah, I had that ringing in my ears, but in that peaceful environment, it didn't bother me. It was an amazing trip, and it definitely influenced the way I looked at everything after that. Not just the trip, but the kindness of his father and his grandfather, his whole family. That's probably one of the most influential points in my life. And I brought that directly into Draconum Lacryma Mortis. The trip that the characters in that book take is based on that trip that I took as a young man with that family. The shimmering waters of Trout Lake and the majesty of the northern woods, alongside his best friend Hannah. Jacob finds solace in the wilderness. Their friendship is rooted and shared love for the outdoors, and a deep understanding of each other's dreams and fears. If he is not outdoors, Jacob immerses himself in his art. It's his sanctuary, a place where he can express the emotions he sometimes finds hard to share with the world. Recruited by dragons, his empathy and leadership inspire others to join the fight to protect the world. Jacob's journey is one of growth and courage, an unyielding spirit to champion what he loves. Join Jacob on his adventure in the Draconum series. I do move gingerly now. I know I'm not an old man, but there's days it feels like it. I talk a lot about being isolated and just being around here. I would love to be out in the mountains and on long hikes and exploring more like my characters do. But there's some physical challenges that, get in the way of that. And walking and standing is holding me back these days. Come on, that boy. Yeah, good boy. I would, I miss the long walks and runs with the dogs. I still try and go on them, but I'll pay for it for days. It wasn't really a transition from writing to music. The writing came first. A couple of things I wanted right from as soon as I could remember. I wanted to be a writer. And I wanted to have a huge horse ranch in the foothills of the mountains. At some point I forgot both of those. But getting back to your question, it wasn't a transition from music to writing. I was writing and doing music at the same time, and my writing was part of my music, and it was separate. The music just fell by the wayside, and I wish in some ways it hadn't, but it did. Yeah, the writing fell by the wayside for a while too. You get it? At some point it became more important to me to appear to be successful, to pursue that. And that meant money and a big house and having everything. And I did that. I mean, I chased money and career, and I did it so hard that I lost family over it. It was about me, it wasn't about others. So I have a son and a daughter. And can we stop? Okay, look. I should never have given up on my dream of being a writer just to chase money and success. Because I knew that was at the core of me what I was.
Lost in the echoes,
Why I did that, I don't
searching
know.
for his name. Among the stars and shadows,
But not being what I really was
with every word he pens, a step
led to me losing sight of what was important in my life. So the fact that I don't see or talk to my children anymore,
walks through fields, feels the earth's embrace in every job and trial.
it's completely my fault.
He finds a new trace, from crafting wood to tending the land.
And I'm not going to hand out advice to anybody to say, don't do it, because
Lost in the echoes,
what do I know? I screwed it up. I'm, you want a definition of an imperfect man? That's me. Yeah, the imperfections in me come through in my writing, in my stories. Everybody's fallible. Everybody has, everybody makes poor choices sometimes.
A path you can't deny. Lost in the echo.
A little bit of rain caught up to us. Kind of ironic given that the plan was to record this portion in front of a fire, and there's a fire ban right now. Only a few drops so far, but I'm kind of hoping the rain comes down harder. You ever reach out and grab a raindrop and think, I wonder what story it has to tell? I mean, every raindrop has to have a story, right? I think of all the places it's been in the water cycle, all the people it's seen, all the places it's traveled, underground, above ground, in the sky. Every raindrop must have a story, and every cloud must have the Earth's history in it. Here comes that rain. I know many cultures find fire cleansing, but I think rain is just as cleansing for some. I do wish I could spend so much more time out in places like this and in the mountains and such. Unfortunately, so much of my days are taken up with social media. Any indie author will tell you they've got not just the job of writing their book, they've got the job of marketing it and everything else that a publisher does for others. So it's, we do it a lot of the times because we don't have the money to pay for the ads and the marketing, so social media is the alternative. But social media drains. I know it drains me. I know it drains a lot of people. It takes something out of people. Okay, so why are we back here? So you're telling me streaming platforms and distribution platforms won't let you call out social media by a specific name, even though you included in the documentary the evidence of what you were talking about. Nice. That shows you how social media platforms protect themselves, eh? And hang on. So in the credits we said support indie authors, buy an indie author book. And they won't allow that because it's promotional to buy a book from indie authors? What's the point of this then? Okay. We can talk about it. Come on guys, let's go. But I want to be clear. We're talking about it because it's part of what made me the person I am now. We're not talking about it because it was a horrible time in my life. And we're not making me out to be a victim because I had a car to sleep in. There's many that don't even have anywhere near that. Hunger gnaws within, he prays for advice. I was homeless because of circumstances, not addiction. It's sad that I have to point that out because that's the very first thought that many people have about others who have no roof over their heads. Were there alternatives? Possibly. But I was not in a mental state to take advantage of them. Did not have friends that I could go to. Pride stopped me from going to family. I was working a part-time job, but that was barely enough for food and gas in the car so I could stay warm in the freezing winter nights. All the tools of my trade that I'd built up over the years, they were all gone, so I couldn't earn the income that I was earning before that. There was a freezing night where the car ran out of gas. I think I was probably about as close to freezing to death as you could be. It was only by chance that someone checked on my vehicle and got me to a hospital. This is one of those transformative moments. Feeling so alone, cold winds whisper through, cutting to the bone. Lost in the shadows, struggling to see, searching for a way back to who he used to be. Morning brings a stranger's knock, a gentle hand to give, a blanket and some coffee, a reason now to live, a flicker of kindness in a world so cold, a reminder of humanity, a story to be told.
Out of gas, out of hope, feeling so alone. Cold winds whisper through, cutting to the bone. Lost in the shadow, struggling to see.
When I got back up onto my feet, I'd lost all that work and all the writing I'd been doing for years. Journals, everything on my computer. There's so much there that was gone. When I found the energy and the mindset to return, I don't know how long. I love the sound of a motorbike. I miss my motorbike. I miss. Anyway, when I found the energy, I tried. I went and found my books, those old books, and I republished them. And I've been writing ever since. And that's all I do now is write. That's what.
Where the Atlantic sings its ancient song. Each curve a dance with autumn's blaze.
You know,
whispering tales,
given my limitations, it's sad that it took my limitations, not being able to hear and communicate with people properly, not being able to walk and stand properly, the constant pain and everything, which makes it difficult to have patience with people. It's unfortunate that that's what it took to get me to return to something that I love. I don't think it's... If I had stuck with writing, I don't think... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Do I have regrets? Absolutely, but everything that happened to this point has made me the person I am at this point. Which is getting to be a good person, I think. Looking at my flowers? Yeah, they're already starting to die off. 5 years. 5 years ago I planted those. Never held much hope for them. But they really came through this year. I've always kept journals for as long as I remember. They had my writing in it, they had writing ideas, they had songs and music, goals, things I wanted to do, so many things I wanted to do. And when I lost them all, I started again. There's so many, I've done so many things, but there's so many things I wanted to do, and like those flowers we were just looking at. Time chases you down, right? You have to pick and choose. So yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of the things on my journals. A lot of the plans I had, I won't get to them. But I've got books left in me. I've got my next book coming out, Echoes of Existence, and I've got another fantastic idea for a book after that, and I'm going to finish off the MacIver series and the Draconum series, and who knows how many books I'll be able to write. I hope for a long, long time.
spreads again. Saw the future wins. The more you live, the more plans you make. So much to life, you wanna partake. Experience everything. Life is for the living. But life chased you down. Man, as fast as you could, never knew that it would. But life chased you down. Scratch those things off your list. It's a cool twist. Life chased you down. You scratch off each line, set the pages on fire, but you keep a few for the energy left. The vultures of time circle overhead, but not quite yet. But life chased you down. Ran as fast as you could, never knew that it would. But life chased you down. Scratch those things off your list. It's a cool twist. Life chased you down.
These hills were once my sanctuary. Here, nestled in nature's embrace, I found my place of zen. Words flowed onto pages, weaving stories from the whispers of the wind. In this solitude, I grappled with the weight of choices made and promises that slipped through my fingers. I contemplated the diverging paths of life. Some I walked, others I watched fade into the distance. It was in this sacred space, where the earth met the sky, that I finally discovered my own path forward.
Back to solitude, his solitary space where ideas blossom in the quiet's embrace. Isolation wraps him like a familiar tune, finding comfort in the calm of the moon. He looks back on roads, the miles he's roamed, through freedom's call, to a heart that's honed in every line and verse, a piece of his soul, accepting the stillness, making him whole. Reunited briefly, love's fleeting grace, a moment of warmth in a cold embrace. But as quickly as it came, it faded away, leaving him with words and thoughts that...
Words mean what the person saying or writing them intended them to mean. But everyone hearing or reading them inevitably interprets them through their own lens. In our current climate of heightened emotions and quick judgments, many struggle to look beyond surface interpretations. When I write, it is never with intent to cause hurt or harm, but to encourage readers to go deeper, think critically, and open their minds to possibilities. My worlds are both real and fiction. I write about how we treat people around us and how we treat the planet that sustains us. I write about the strength and resilience in our young people and in all of us if we search deep enough. I strive to create a bridge between intent and interpretation, encouraging readers to approach ideas with curiosity and empathy. I endeavor to create moments readers can escape our world and embrace the freedom of imagination. There's a quote attributed to the Mountain Hermit from 20 years ago when I was a storyteller. says that the point of a story can penetrate deeper than the point of a bullet. I think it's just as valid today. We live in a time where people want to silence others with differing opinions and differing perspectives. And books and stories are the doorway to the world beyond what we see. We don't need to believe everything we read, and we shouldn't. Books are an escape from the stresses of the world into a fantasy or fiction, a place to let your mind and soul rest. Books are a place to expand your mind and learn. Books are a safe place to explore how others think and feel. And it's with that knowledge that we can understand ourselves, the people around us, and the world around us better.
Up high in the hills, shadowed by trees, lives a sage they call the Mountain Hermit. Pen in hand, he weaves worlds unseen with pages that dance like fire. Hidden from the whispers and the noise, his ink flows like a river wild, unseen but for the stories told of fantasies, truth in every line. The Mountain Hermit speaks through the dawn, young and old, they come along. His words are beacon in the storm to mend hearts and right the wrong. In a thousand hermits speaks through the dawn, young and old, they come along. His words are beacon in the storm to mend hearts and right the wrong. In a cabin of dreams, he writes alone, worlds birthed from silent screams, truth wrapped in tales of stone, where hope and honor gleam. From cliffs edge he sees it all, the broken dreams, the rising suns. He crafts his prose behind those walls for a world where love's never done. The Mountain Hermit speaks through the dawn, young and old, they come along. His words are beacon in the storm to mend hearts and right the wrong. In a thousand hermits speaks through the dawn, young and old, they come along. His words are beacon in the storm to mend hearts and right the wrong. From cliff's edge he sees it all, the broken dreams, the rising suns. He crafts his prose behind those walls for a world where love's never done. The Mountain Hermit speaks through the dawn, young and old, they come along. His words are beacon in the storm to mend hearts and right the wrong.
You know, all these videos you make, you probably made a couple of movies by now. You should try that. Yeah, right. Can you see this ugly mug in a movie? Ugh. Who would watch that, eh? But what if it wasn't a movie? What if, what if it was a documentary? Who would watch that? That would, that could be interesting. I mean, they put documentaries in film festivals. You can get them on streaming channels. There's less competition than the short video stuff. Okay, so let's try it. Right here. Okay, so this is a real thing, right? We're not playing games. This isn't some prank. Okay.